Hey guys, welcome back. I'm the Pulse, back at your screen. Today we'll be talking about the story of Romeo and Juliet. So let's get into a quick summary. Love is one of the most significant topics which is seen all through the book of Romeo and Juliet. Conflict and destiny additionally happen, which at that point causes the quarrel between the two families. This is found in the where it was composed by William Shakespeare in Lovely, where the story took place in the year 1597. The story is mostly about the two youthful lovers, which came from two different families, the Montagues and the Capulets, with an everlasting feud on both families that ended tragedy and also caused death at the end to both lovers. Romeo, who was a young man, about 16 years of age. He was handsome, intelligent, and sensitive. Juliet displayed inner strength, intelligence, and bravery. The main themes in the story of Romeo and Juliet are love, fate, and conflict. We are also going to mention some of the quotes for each of the themes. So let's begin. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. Act 1, Prologue, line 5. My grave is like to be my wedding bed. Act 1, scene 5, line 133. My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and known too late. Act 1, scene 5, line 136. What eye art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death. What drawn and talk peace? I hate hell, all wanted its end. Good king of cats, I want to take one of your 9 lives. I fear too early from my mind. The consequences yet hanging in the stars shall brutally begin his fearful date. Act 1, scene 4, line 108 to 110. A plague both your houses. Act 2, scene 1, line 102. Oh, I'm a fortune's fool. Act 3, scene 1, line 131. Modern day men may believe that they control their own future through their choices. However, fate is the ultimate determinant of their future, which cannot be changed regardless of the result. Romeo and Juliet occurred as a result of fate, rather than their own free will. They use the metaphor in my grave is like to be my wedding bed. This portrays once Juliet saw Romeo for the first time, she had this sort of fascination for him, and that she thinks about her grave to be a wedding bed. This demonstrates that Juliet attempted to state that if Romeo is hitched, she wouldn't marry any individual other than Romeo, and will remain a virgin until the day comes when she bites the dust. To further emphasize that romance was a result of their fate, through the use of paradox, my only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and known too late. Ridiculous love, ridiculous birth of love. Is it to me that I must love a lost enemy? Conveys that Juliet talks these lines in the wake of discovering that Romeo comes from the Montague family, and Juliet comes from the Capulet family. And Romeo is an adversary to Juliet, in light of the fact that there is a disagreement between both families. And Juliet says that she saw him way too quickly, without speculation, effectively. And they may wind up being as one, with an individual her family doesn't care of. And it wasn't Juliet's own will to pick what family Romeo came from. The use of foreshadowing in the line, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. Moreover, the romance was the result of their fate. This highlights that the prologue questions that Romeo and Juliet's love was seen through the stars. Back in those times, the stars predicted their destiny and what's going to happen to them. And it wasn't their free will. Thus, Romeo and Juliet romance wasn't a part of their free will. This was seen throughout of the whole play and persuaded through their death. Romeo and Juliet's ultimately death, as foreshadowed in the beginning of the play, was always written in the stars. The use of foreshadowing in the line, I fear too early, for my mind misgives. Some consequences, yet hanging in the stars, shall bitterly begin his fearful date. This persuades that Romeo is worried about the possibility that this gathering slamming may perhaps bring critical results at the end. At that point, Romeo forecasts that the gathering will then lead to something bad, something that will cause death in his own life. Furthermore, the use of alliteration in the line, "Oh, I'm a fortune's fool," substantiates that Romeo distinguishes himself with a fortune's fool, since he was attempting to assemble the harmony among Tybalt and Mercutio by taking out his sword. Other than Romeo assembling the harmony, he winds up slaughtering Tybalt and getting himself in a difficult situation, and is currently terrified that the reason for his activity will promote Juliet not loving him any longer. Moreover, the use of foreshadowing in the line, "A plague, a both houses." This magnifies the reason for Mercutio's words, drive that Romeo gets kicked out of lovely Verona, and after that, Juliet fakes her passing, while on the opposite side, Romeo thought she was dead and commits suicide. Juliet does likewise, which at that point, the two darlings assortment of Romeo and Juliet both bite the dust, an overwhelming dismiss. Thus, fate had a big effect on some characters, which makes them predict the future and what is going to happen to them without their free will. The conflict between the Montagues and the Capulet was a feud that was unavoidable, and it was a predestined ancient grudge. The use of allusion in "Good King of Cats, I want to take one of your 9 lives," informs that Mercutio uses his line to say to Tybalt that he wants to kill him and doesn't want to see him alive. Mercutio's aim is to warn Tybalt that he's going to get rid of him, and Tybalt also comes from the Capulet family, and Mercutio came from the Montague family, and they had a feud that it isn't avoidable. The conflict between both families causes a huge problem, and it is unavoidable. The use of metaphor in the line, "Word drawn and talk of peace, I hate hell, all Montagues and thee." This demonstrates that Tybalt compares hell to the Montagues because he despises them and conveys that every minute with them was like hell. This is all due to the feud between both families. To further emphasize that the feud was unavoidable, as it was a predestined ancient grudge, the call to action in "What eye art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death." This reveals that we see Tybalt is quick to action and hot-headed. Therefore, he uses call to action to converse the men, to pull out their swords and start a fight. Thus, the play persuades how the feud is unavoidable, all through the characters' actions. Thank you guys for watching the video. Until next time, peace! Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Bye!